What is going on, YouTube? I am Germ here. Just a couple of minutes ago, the newest champion in League of Legends, Lillia, has been released. She's out on the live servers now. Again, we've known about her for a little bit. She's been on the PvE for the past 2 weeks. We've got to try her out, play her a bunch, but now here she is officially on the live servers in patch 10.15. In this video, we're going to be running through everything you need to know about the newest champion in the game so that you can be best suited to just go into your next game and win as her and actually know what's going on a little bit, perform a little bit better, and actually have a chance of just coming out on top and gaining a bunch of LP. Before we get in this video today, I just want to mention real quick, if you're not already subscribed, definitely click that subscribe button really quick. Helps you guys stay updated on my latest content, helps me out a ton as well. Also, check out the link for Robinhood in the description below if you want to receive free stock just for signing up. You don't even have to put any money on. With that being said, here we go, getting into today's video, which is again going to be a little bit of a Lillia guide breakdown, just checking all of her stuff out. Because again, I did this on the PvE, but stuff can change from the PvE to the live servers. Every once in a while they'll have mechanics added or removed, numbers change, all that stuff. So here we go. First, we're going to run through her abilities, and we'll talk about rune pages, builds, all that stuff. We're going to cover everything in this video. So it might be a little bit of a longer one, so strap in. So here we go. First up, Lillia's passive is Dream Laden Bow. Lillia's skills apply Dream Dust, dealing 5% max health magic damage over 3 seconds. Also, they have this like little shift for more info stuff you can do. They're going to be adding it to all the champions. Dream Dust deals a max of 61 damage over the duration to jungle monsters. So we need to spawn a dummy real quick. Hold on, let me figure out how to get into this. We're going to spawn an enemy dummy just to try everything out on. We don't really need to look at the passive yet, but we'll do that with the rest of the abilities. As far as the Q, we have Blooming Blows. Passive, Lillia's skill hits grant 10% movement speed for 5 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. So that's 50% increased movement speed once you get 5 stacks on her Q passive, which is really, really ridiculous. That's what this champion's all about. Movement speed, running around, flying around the map. And yeah, the Q passive makes that possible. The active, Lillia whirls her sensor, dealing 79 magic damage plus 79 true damage at the outer edge. Obviously, that's just with the AP and stuff I have. So it's just going to deal magic damage plus true damage at the outer edge of the circle. And then you can see just the different stuff. Alright, so here we go. Here is the Q, what it looks like. We need to get rid of cooldowns and stuff. Auto refresh cooldowns. Yeah, we'll level all the way up. Alright, so there we go. That's not what I meant to do. Get all of our points maxed out. Alright, so here's what the Q looks like. Again, you have the inner edge and the outer edge. The inner edge is going to do magic damage. The outer edge is going to do true damage. And then you can see also at the bottom that we have our passive Prance stacked up. And now we have that 50% increased movement speed, which is just really, really crazy. You get so fast. So she's just flying around. And that's going to allow her to... Because she's melee, or she's ranged, but she has really, really short range. She has like Rakan range, she has like Urgot range. She is classified as a range champion, but she is very, very short range. Her Q, not very long range. Her auto attack's not very long range. So she's able to kind of offset that by having a really, really high movement speed and just being able to fly around. Next up, as far as her W, we have Watch Out Eat. Lillia winds up a huge strike, dealing magic damage, and then enemies in the center take 398 damage instead. So we can take a look at that. Here's her W. She winds up, dashes in, and then just kind of slams on top of them again. People in the center are going to do way increased damage. That's such a just huge amount of damage in the middle. Really, really crazy. And then, of course, I'm pretty sure that, yeah, that gives you a stack of your passive as well, which again is going to give you that increased movement speed. Next up, her E. This is kind of one of the crazier abilities. You have Swirl Seed. Lillia lobs a Swirl Seed overhead, dealing magic damage where it lands and revealing and slowing them by 40% for 3 seconds. If no enemies are hit, the seed rolls until it hits an enemy or collides with terrain. Alright, so as you can see, it's going to hit them. It's going to slow them down. They're going to be dealt a little bit of damage to them too. And then now we can see what it looks like from super, super far away, where it like rolls all the way across. It's just going to keep rolling until it hits like terrain, which you saw there. We can try to make it hit the champion. You can see it's going to roll all the way down. And then also if we just like send it down the lane, I don't know how far we're going to be able to get it to go, but it will go. It'll just keep going until it hits something, which is pretty crazy. It's an interesting ability to roll all the way to the tower. I've seen people be able to make it go from base to base. You can do a lot of different interesting creative things with it. I could see like maybe you being able to roll it down into like mid lane for a gank, or down into a lane from the river, or from a lane to the river to like a dragon or baron or something. There's a lot of creative uses you get for it. But it's just tough because there's a lot of terrain on the map. But yeah, pretty interesting ability. Finally, we have her ult, which is pretty crazy as well. We have Lilting Lullaby. Lillia causes all enemies with Dream Dust to become drowsy for 1.5 seconds. Afterward, they fall asleep for 3 seconds, and then when awakened by damage, they take additional magic damage, just kind of like Zoe's sleep. So you can see here, we hit somebody with our E. They have the Dream Dust on them, and then we can press R, and then they're going to be drowsy for a second half, then they're going to fall asleep, and then we're going to be able to do increased damage with our next ability, which is really, really massive. Big combo you can do is you can land that on them, put them to sleep, and then walk up and hit them with the center of your W, and that's going to do an insane damage because you have the increased damage from being the center of your W, you have the increased damage from them being asleep, you have a lot of different combo options, and she can do some really, really high damage. So you have this high damage threat that's just flying around with insane movement speed, insane mobility, but the downside is definitely that she is short range and she's just susceptible to getting blown up and killed. Next up, as far as the rune page, a lot of people are going Dark Harvest on her. She isn't very good with Conquer because she is a ranged champion. She's not melee. Her abilities would stack Conquer really, really well and be really good, but again, she's a ranged champion. She gets the she doesn't stack Conquer as fast. She needs more abilities and stuff. So Dark Harvest might just be the way to go. This is Dark Harvest with Sudden Impact, Eyeball Collector, Ravenous Hunter, and then secondary we have Sorcery with Water Walking and Celerity just to get that even increased movement speed. Sudden Impact you can proc with your W, giving that little dash and stuff, making that do a ton more damage. Eyeball Collector is really good, and then Ravenous Hunter really helps out with your clear and stuff. She is going to be kind of a power farming jungler. You're going to want to do just something like red to Krugs to Raptors and then a normal topside clear, trying to get a full clear off. You're not really, really strong early game. You don't have a ton of damage. You're not really strong until you hit 6. That's when you can start putting people to sleep, doing that increased damage, being really, really strong. She is more of a scaling jungler a little bit. She has really, really good clear. She has a lot of AoE abilities. She has good attack speed. She can kite the camp really well with her increased movement speed. She is mainly a jungler. She can't really be played support because she doesn't really offer much utility or anything to the team, and she can't put people to sleep until 6, and it's pretty unreliable. She could be mid, she could be top decently, but she is going to be balanced as a jungler. She's intended to be a jungler, and that has been kind of her best role, her main role in the PvE, and now that she's coming out to live servers, she's definitely going to be a jungler first and foremost. As far as the builds and stuff, a normal build on her will look something like, it'll be Blue Smite into Runic Echoes, and then people are going I gotta be in the shop to buy. I was like, why is this not letting me buy? We'll get back to the shop first. So normal build on her is going to be Blue Smite, Runic Echoes. Merc Treads are usually going to be really, really good on her again because she's very, very short range. Sork Shoes could be okay. Ninja Tabby's into the right team with her full AD or something. Merc Tread's going to be really, really good so you're not getting CC'd and blown up. And then Liandry's Torment's going to be really good. And then after that, people pretty much go tank just because she is so short range that she needs to have a lot of survivability. So you can go something like Deadman's Visage, Zanya's, I think could be a really, really nice full build. Rally's Crystal Scepter is an option as well that could be decent. But I think this would be the best final 6-item build. Gives you a little bit of tankiness, survivability with Zanya's. You get a lot of damage with the Liandry's Torment and the Runic Echoes. You have some tenacity with the Merc Treads. I think this is what a normal build on her is going to look like. Obviously, you're going to have like full AP stuff with like Death Cap and ridiculous stuff like that. But Rally's obviously is always going to work really, really well with Liandry, so that's going to be an option too. You can maybe even go a little bit more defensive items as well if you want to be a little tankier. But I think this will be the standard Lillia build, and it'll get you pretty far and do pretty good for you. But yeah, pretty much it for this video today, guys. Just kind of ran through all the different Lillia stuff, all her abilities and everything. She's a very, very simple champion. No like crazy combos. You can come up with some really interesting uses for the E, obviously, depending on where you want to roll it, how you want to do that. There's going to be ways to maximize the damage with the sleep, you know, making sure you land a big ability with that sleep, getting that increased damage on your important abilities, making sure you're always spamming Q to kite around, kite the camps, all that stuff, making sure you're always stacking your passive for that big movement speed. But yeah, she's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Riot wants her to be kind of a niche champion. There's her auto attack animation too. As you can see, it is definitely range, but it's very, very short range. It does remind me of her Khan a lot. But yeah, you definitely want to always be stacking the passive so you can always get those movement speed increases, always just be flying around that, because that's when she can be at her best, when she's able to just weave in and out of people, land different abilities, put people to sleep, and yeah, she'll be pretty good. I think she'll be pretty strong. Riot doesn't want her to be very strong in the first patch, but new champs are always broken at some point. If she's not broken this patch, she'll be broken sometime within the next month or two. She's going to be meta. If you want to pick her up and learn her, now is a great time, and yeah, she's out now. So definitely hop into some games, start playing her, testing her out, and yeah, tell me what you guys think about her. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about Lillia so far? Are you going to be trying her out? And if you try her out, let me know how that goes. Subscribe to stay up to date on the latest content. Check out the link for Robin in the description below. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one, but until then, peace.